Dear learners, now let's understand how to do different inventory analysis in the Microsoft Excel for selective inventory control methods. So we will see all these analysis which are much required in today's world or which are commonly followed in the corporate. Now you all know that many companies follow Microsoft Excel for doing Excel analysis, for doing inventory analysis. So we will understand how to do these different inventory control techniques in Microsoft Excel. So the very first technique is ABC analysis, and as far as other analysis are concerned, this is quite complicated in terms of more formulas into the Excel spreadsheet. So if you understand ABC analysis better, I would say other analysis are just matter of some formulas in their calculation. So ABC analysis is little critical, so we will understand the ABC analysis first. Now to start with ABC analysis, let's understand what raw data we actually require for the ABC analysis. So if you see everything in this spreadsheet which is in blue heading, so if you see this is completely in blue heading, that is basically a placement of raw data where you have to paste your raw data in the same format which is already pasted in this Excel spreadsheet. If you paste all this raw data in the required format, your all calculations will be automatically done. In all the other headings, like green headings are basically automatic calculations. Now the red headings are those cells where you have to take some manual actions in terms of formula or in terms of some adjustment so that your analysis will be more accurate. So let's start with the raw data. So as far as raw data is concerned, you will have to take material code, or you can even call it as item number or product number, whatever your organization calls for. Now for ABC analysis, we usually prefer last 12 months data in terms of usage. So if you see this product's usage is already mentioned here month on month, and assume that we are in the month of June 2023, and that's why our raw data is from June 2022 till May 2023. So this is one of the raw data which we want in ABC analysis. Now the next raw data we need is unit cost of the product. Sometimes companies even call it as a standard cost of the product. Okay, you can consider this as a standard cost also, whichever is available in your company, or some analysts may consider this as item price itself. Okay, so this can be even item price. Okay, but right now let's consider this is a unit cost that we are considering in the calculation. So for this column you may have multiple currencies. It could be dollar, it could be euro, it could be GBP, or any other currency that your company is actually doing analysis. So right now just consider this is there is no currency, but this is just a simple bugs that we have taking into the consideration. Now once we have this raw data from column A to column N, then in column O the first calculation is what is the total quantity that is sold in the period. So this period of 12 months, we are just summing up the quantity that is sold in that particular period. So here the formula is sum of all the sales from B2 to M2. So it will take the sum of all these sales. So you can see the formula, it takes B2 to M2 total sum. The same formula is dragged down till the end. Okay, and then this is basically quantity sold in last 12 months. Now in column P you will see usage value. Okay, now this is just a quantity, but if we have to understand how much the inventory is getting impacted, then we have to multiply this with unit cost of the product. And in this column we have done the same thing, like whatever the quantity is sold into the unit cost of the product. Now here you will see usage value is basically multiplication of unit cost into total quantity which is sold in the last 12 months period. So this column is done. Then you have to just drag down this formula till the end. Now special attention we have to give here is in column P you have to sort this from high to low value. That means you have to sort this this numbers from high to low value. So where you go data, you have option sort, then you have column P, and you have to just sort this as largest to smallest. Now why we are sorting this? Because we have to have some cumulative usage and cumulative percentage in the next two columns, and that's why it is important to sort this from high value to low value. Now let's go to column Q. Now in column Q, there are first two cells which are actually red, and there you have to put manual intervention. So in first cell, the formula is equal to, it is simply P2. Okay, so you actually start from this cell, so you have to just take formula as equal to P2. But in but in cell Q3, if you see, so in column 3, basically it is sum of current usage value and previous parts usage value, so that you can get a cumulative value of the um, of that particular cell. So here your formula is P3, that means this one, plus Q2. So you can see the formula, that is just adding up this one. Now in column Q, this formula is simply dragged down till the end. Okay. Now in column R, we will go in the column R, where it is basically calculating percentage of cumulative value, that is from column Q. So here you simply see the formula is equal to Q2 divided by V10. Now what is V10? So V10 is basically this cell. Okay, I will just highlight this into gray color. So what this cell is, basically sum of all the items usage value. So if you see the entire inventory portfolio's usage value is this much, and that's why we are dividing this by this number, and you have to just fix that number for all the columns in the formula. Now you have to just drag down this formula till the end. Okay, now once you have all these things, the very important thing is that in column S, your calculation of ABC will automatically happen. But let's understand what you have to do. Now if you come to the column V, and if you see if you see cell V2, if you see cell V3, then we have to mention what percent of contribution you want to consider in A category. Then from there till what percent of contribution you have to consider for class B items. And finally C is basically anything above 90% till 100% of the contribution. Now here we have considered 75% of the total value consumption should be part of A category, and then from 75% till 90% should be part of B category, and then the automatic calculation will happen, and you will see all the A are basically in yellow color, or if you go down, then your B will be in this color, and then your C will be in actually this bluish color. So you will have different color format also there. So in this sheet, there are total 16,000 parts for which you can do the analysis, and just make sure that if your parts count is more than 16,000, okay, if your parts count is more than 16,000, then let's say you have more parts in your raw data, then you also have to drag down these formulas on your right in a certain manner. Okay, that is important. Or vice versa, if your parts count is less than 16,000, then make sure that your columns formula is only till those last part number, and that will give you the accurate overview of your analysis. So here what it says is, like, your A class item contributes 75% of the total usage value, but as far as items count is concerned, it is just 1054 items from 16,000 items. That means 7% of items are contributing 75% of your inventory value or inventory usage value, and that is what it indicates. Like, if you focus your efforts on 7% of parts, you can get benefit of managing 75% of inventory in a better way. So that is all about ABC classification in the inventory control methods. So here you will get all the summary. Here we get B parts are 10% of the entire volume, and C class parts are 83% volumes, which are just contributing 10% of your entire 10% of your entire value contribution. So this is all about ABC analysis. Here are some legends that we have already mentioned. Enter raw data in all blue heading columns. Then red is basically you have to take manual action or some intervention you will have to do, and green columns you get all the data auto populated based on the formulas. These are few steps you have to follow in ABC analysis. That's what we have actually discussed right now. And if you plot a graph of ABC analysis, then you will see that your A class items, which contribute somewhere around 75% of your inventory number. So 75% of your contribution is done by 1054 parts, you will see here. Then your B class items, that means still 90% of your usage value. So your B class items basically contribute next portion of the part, which is 1600 parts, and rest all, which is 10% contribution in the value, and rest all, which is just 10% contribution in the value, they contribute around 13,000 part numbers in the entire bracket. So your part numbers are very much high in this, and this contributes very small or negligible value in your entire inventory portfolio. So this was all about ABC analysis, and you can download this sheet, and you can also use this sheet for your inventory analysis for ABC classification.